Well, Mahalo Bay is coming along quite swimmingly. See what I did there? Went to Hobby Lobby this weekend. Got some wires, gonna put them on the many different things. Gonna have to bend and twist and move them to make them grab irons. And then as you can see, the little critter right there has critter number 2 coming along. And there she is right there, the big heavy hauler of the island. Next to the newest part of the island, Lone Pine Curve. The one pine tree planted on Mahalo Bay. From the lonely traveler from the mainland. All right, let's get to it. So, because we have the 90s Op Run Day coming up at the Model Railroad Museum, Tehachapi Pass, La Mesa Model Railroad Club, we're going to do some 90s. So let's do 90s, 97, 96, 96, that would be June, July, and January in 97. So we're going to start out with the New Haven paint scheme here on an Alco PA. Very industrial looking paint scheme. Orange, black, interesting colors with the big NH. Good things. The Crescent Limited. Because if you want to display something on your desk that says Net Alert. All right, let's keep moving. Steam Around the World. There was always so many interesting articles that I just really want to dive into. This is obviously railroad news, so you see things like this, like this. And I mean, the 90s mags, man. A lot of articles. But this is something I miss about the 90s right here. Whew. Look at this. That looks like a U30C or a C30-7. Could be a C30-7. Let's take a look. With that white pinstripe. Very unique paint scheme for Burlington Northern. But it was really cool because you'd see things like this. Heritage 1-9. C30-7, if we're assuming it's a C30-7. And then this nice little SD75M. You could tell because the SD75Is actually had smaller BNSF lettering, much like that on the side, the smaller logo. This one still had that sans serif, or whatever it is that, I can't remember what the font is, but Stay on Track 1997 BNSF calendar. I mean, what a cornucopia of color. Back in the day, look at that. Got loose M. Tracos. That's not a real language. Don't try and speak it. People will punch you in the face. Anyways, so next merger shoe drops because this was the announcement of Conrail leaving. Now, this is, I think, before they just broke Conrail up. So look at that. Who are we going to merge with? Answer is neither. You're just going to get all that. There you go, son. Here's some track. Do with it what you want. I hope you like it. I made it myself. Sold it for more than it was worth. And look at this. Stampede Pass. I remember this article as a kid. Stampede Pass comes back to life. Bringing it back. Look at that lash up. 3 SD40-2s. I'm wrong. Count the fans, count the trucks. That's an SD40-2 on the tail end. But almost looks like those are GP40s. There you go. Beautiful looking piece of tunnel work right there. And we're moving on right there. That's where the stand. In case you're wondering, this is Washington State. There's the Puget Sound. There's Seattle. There's Tacoma. Good old Ayubuurn. And good old Claylium. And then Winnetachi. Beautiful spot. But as you can see, the highlighted red right in y'all. Look at the red. That's where it is. Okay, there we go. Boom, bing, diggity, bing, ding, ba, dee, dot. No, I'm kidding. Stevens Pass is up here. Old GN route. I don't know what I'm talking about. I watched a YouTube video on it not too long ago. Really cool spot in the Americas. And farewell to the Chiefs. I'm going to take a nice good look at this article. A lot of the writing back in the day when you would read these articles, it was almost a cinematic experience, the way that the writer, the author, would loquaciously tap dance around great visual descriptions. But look at this. The old beehive moving into the Alleghenies. Really cool to see some SD45s on this. Obviously, this is in the 90s, so you have a lot of old SP gear, old Santa Fe gear. Really good pictures. Really cool. Quite honestly, I think this is a terrible paint scheme. I don't like it at all. But now that's the negative side of it, but the positive side is there's something quite attractive to a paint scheme that you don't like. It's almost like if you're like the frat guy who likes goth chicks, or if you're the goth chick that likes frat guys. You're like, God, I don't like this, but for some reason I can't get away from it. I just want to keep looking. Like a jar filled with stale fart. Anyways, so look at this. Passenger diesels turn legend. Those PAs, so cool. What an iconic looking locomotive. I mean, this burly nose of an engine, thin slits of windows. I mean, not that thin, but I mean, just the way it looked. It was a very menacing, like pit bull looking engine. Fun fact is only the outside trucks were powered. The inside truck was just for stabilization and weight distribution for traction. That's right, only 4 powered trucks from what I understand. And this is one of my favorite paint schemes. The Delaware in... Hang on, if it is Delaware and Hudson, am I right? Yes. I'm losing it? No. But that blue and yellow look, which kind of mimicked the war bonnet look. And then, obviously, the belle of the ball, Rio Grande. That beautiful Tuscany orange. I don't remember what type of orange it is. And then that just badass gun silver. But yeah, man, what a great article. SP, look at that. This is Donner Pass units because they have the icicle breakers up on the roof. Yes, we're going through tunnels with large icicles. We need to break them off. So let's put icicle breakers on. Never was a fan of the Erie Lackawanna paint scheme on the PAs. It made them look like the class clown. At least in my humble opinion. Maybe we have some East Coast railroaders out there that are like, what? Them's fighting words. Sorry, that's a southern accent. But I don't do a very good East Coast accent. Hey, what? Them's fighting words, Mark. Mark, we're going to head down to fucking Marvin Gardens and then go over to Harvard Yard and then go see the Boston Red Sox. The Sockys hit some dingers, Mark. I hope that was a good enough impersonation of it. God, you gotta love some of these drawings of these paint schemes. Look at that. New Haven. That's such a military-looking paint scheme. It's like whoever did that paint scheme was like, I know, we used to paint our tanks like this. Anyways, wish come true. All right, we're going to end that right there. Spent too much time on that and never enough time on trains. Let's get to Florida East Coast because everybody cares about Florida. Said no one ever. I'm kidding. I love Florida. Got some friends down there. My homeboy Andrew from Felicity. My ex-drummer Luke lives down there now. Vero Beach. Actually for a long time. Seems just like yesterday. We were playing drums though. Here we go, July. Make me a happy me. Oh, and they did. Look at that. San Diego Imperial Valley. What do they have to say about this POS railroad? Kidding, but really. So busy San Diego, the first passenger train over the rebuilt bridge below at Rodriguez Dam in the first years to Tijuana and Redondo Loop. Oh, how they will be so disappointed in the future. Man, we show big promise for tomorrow, man. We're going to attach the East Coast to the West Coast, man. I don't know why there's some sort of redneck trailer trash accent added, man. Wherever that's from. Hodgepodge of crap. But really cool. Look at this. Man. Along the line photos. I don't think this is called along the line. Just driving my train engine. with some faux wood paneling, even though it's a wide cab. Set up like an EMD standard cab. Love this picture, and I'll tell you why. Ex-Santa Fe Jeeps. GP, general purpose. Always love Burlington Northern. Can't hate. Got to calculate. Some U-boats. Behind a GP60M. Good God. Where'd that come from? What are we doing here? Buy stuff, buy stuff, buy stuff. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Right now, we're going to pause for station identification for the great sounds of KCRN. K-Kern. Hey, man, that sounds like K-Corn. It's K-Kern. Sounds of the California Valley. Because this Saturday, or not this Saturday, Saturday coming up, look it up, find La Mesa Club online. And they're doing a 90s op sesh. So, like I said, 90s op. That's why we're in the 90s magazines. Florida East Coast. This is what we came for. We wanted to see what Florida's up to back in the 90s. Well, we got a couple of stacks. Florida has such unique architecture. It has this like old school Victorian vibe, but it's infused with this kind of southern, almost French architecture. Really cool. Really cool lighting package on this locomotive. I cannot see the fan, so I cannot tell, but some sort of GP unit with this low plow. Because we don't get snow in Florida. So all we need to do is keep the possums and armadillos off the track. All right, moving on. Oh, that's a Jeep 38, definitely. No dynamic brakes, 2 fans on the back, little blister on the front. Yeah, GP 38. You're welcome. All right. I guess that's it, because we're looking at, this is all the east coast of Florida. One of my favorite trains is up actually over by Tallahassee. I got to find an article on that. Ooh, is that a GP15? No. Still another GP38, but it doesn't have the blister this time. But you still count the fans. You got 2 fans with no dynamic brakes. You're looking at a GP38, my friend. At least back in the day. Boom, boom, artwork, boom, M-Track, boom, boom, boom. Nobody cares about Canada. Here we go. I'm kidding, Canada. I love you, Canucks. You beat the shit out of the Gulls the other night. I went and saw the Gulls play some sort of, I think it was Calgary, whatever their AAA team is. Tied until the last point, and then they lost. Pepsi can. One of the unique things is pretty much, what is it classified as? A P32BW something? If anybody knows, comment. But it pretty much was a Dash 840B painted like the choice of a new generation. Crystal clear Pepsi right now. All right, we're done. I hope you noticed some of this neat stuff. In case the locomotive's going backwards, you got the nice little, as they called it, the Mumbai dot. Yeah. Timmy, that's inappropriate. I don't care. It's a red light on the forehead of a locomotive. Do the math. Come on. Cultural truths here, folks. Timmy, that's rude. Well, I'm just saying. Maybe you can laugh a little. Maybe you guys can bring humor back into your life and be like, Timmy's just joking around. You know? Like, this Canon camera is the best camera you could buy on the market right now. But seriously, folks. Akash, that joke was for you. By the way, I've got to give Akash this locomotive. Homeboy Mike has it to me on loan. I want to give it to him on loan. Congratulations, buddy, on the almost addition to the new family, plus this old Trix unit. I'm donating that to my neighbor with this BN unit, and that is not going anywhere because that was my brother's N-scale train engine that I will never let go of. I'll never let go, Jack. Titanic reference. We're talking 90s right now. All right, continuing on. Hoopity-doopity-doo. Just so you know, this whole thing is being shot hot dog style, not hamburger style. So if you have to turn your phone sideways or whatever, I'm sorry. And if you don't, cool. All right. Let's rock. Everybody's a critic. Look at those Conrail Max in their heyday, fresh paint. Ugh. 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 So cool. That'll be it for this episode. 15 minutes is enough. Everybody have a wonderful day. Happy Magazine Monday. Rock and roll. Talk to you soon. Subscribe. Actually, don't subscribe. Don't subscribe. I just hope you just watch this video. Cool.